The Melon Music Awards was amazing and BTS stole the show. We saw nearly 40 minutes of BTS performances and them winning 8 awards including the major 4. Unfortunately, not everybody got to experience this beautiful mini concert / celebration as the show was not broadcasted on television. But why was this so? My name is Danny Kim from DKDKTV and I'm here to tell you why the MMAs was not broadcasted on television. There's a lot of speculation on the internet for the reasons why this was so. A lot of K-pop fans are claiming it has something to do with the big three pressuring TV stations to not broadcast the award show because BTS was sweeping all the awards and this is not a good look for them. So basically they're saying the big three have held the TV stations hostage and them boycotting them scared the TV stations and stopped them from broadcasting this BTS celebration. Let me just tell you why this is probably not true. Well, first off, I don't think there was even a boycott from the big three. It's nothing surprising that artists who don't win are not participating in the award show, as that's just how things usually are in these year-end awards ceremonies in Korea. Weird, I know, but the MMAs isn't the Grammys or anything, and it's not important enough to justify staying for an entire evening for 5+ hours to walk away with a few seconds or minutes of screen time. So just because a lot of artists from the big three didn't show up, that doesn't necessarily mean that they are boycotting the event. To get the real cause of why it wasn't shown on TV, we need to look at who Melon is owned by and its businesses. Melon was and still is Korea's leading streaming service, and it was acquired by Kakao in 2016. Now, I remember I was working at Melon's biggest competitor at that time, and we were completely shocked by this news. And also many thought this meant Melon would eventually run a monopoly in the music industry, which, we're heading there, I guess. Kakao, if you don't know, is the creator of the biggest mobile messenger app in Korea called Kakao Talk, and Kakao Talk holds 94.4% of the messenger usage in Korea as of 2018. Most people don't text in Korea, they just Kakao Talk, and if you don't have Kakao Talk, you're not talking to Koreans. So why are we even talking about this messenger app? Kakao, the company, started off with its free messenger app, Kakao Talk, as its sole product. But thanks to its early entry into the app market and its monopoly in the messenger app market, it quickly developed into a mobile platform because everybody was using it in Korea and everybody had Kakao Talk on their phones. It had a merger in 2014 with Naver's biggest competitor, Daum, which is an internet portal, and that formed the Kakao we now know today. It's an IT dinosaur giant thingy. As it merged with Daum, they began to delve into other areas of business like transportation with Kakao T, a taxi calling service, music with the acquisition of Kakao M and Melon, finances by opening its own freaking bank called Kakao Bank. I use that. Nice banking app. And of course, video content distribution with Kakao TV. This year's MMAs held by Melon, which is owned by Kakao, was live streamed on YouTube and Melon and Kakao TV. No surprise. The event itself had been produced completely by Kakao M, a subsidiary of Kakao, without the help of any TV stations, and it's been run like this since last year. Last year, they did do a broadcast on cable TV on JTBC2 and JTBC4, which frankly no one ever fucking watches. And it achieved about 0.8% view rate, which is about half of that of Mama. And this year, they have decided to completely just abandon TV broadcast in favor of promoting their own platform. So yeah, the reason why MMAs wasn't broadcasted was because the company behind MMA, Kakao M, and ultimately Kakao, wanted to promote its own video streaming services. Sorry if you expected some hot-ass tea out of this. And actually, the MMA officially announced that they have been planning this as an off-TV event from the get-go on their official Twitter account. So I don't know where these stories are coming from that the big three are threatening them. Though I gotta say this tweet was deleted later for reasons unknown. The MMAs launched a multicam live stream service on Kakao TV where up to 200,000 people could pay a premium and be able to choose from 8 different camera angles. This was supposed to be a big selling point and obviously something that would not be achievable on TV broadcast. Despite these efforts, many fans were still unhappy about the decision to not broadcast this on television, and many said it lacked the impact of previous award shows as it was not as accessible to the public. Because who the hell uses Kakao TV? Well, nobody. So why is Kakao risking negative feedback and potential viewership of MMAs to promote Kakao TV? Well, because money, obviously. OTT services are seen as the next gold mine in the media industry right now. The estimated market size of the global OTT industry is $262 billion according to the Korean government. Just to give you a comparison, the global box office in 2018 was worth $42 billion. So that's a huge ass industry right there. And on top of that, the global OTT industry is expected to grow to a size of $338 billion by 2020. So a lot of money is going into OTT, and every major media corporation all around the world have been trying to launch their own OTT or create a joint effort to play catch up to the likes of Netflix. For example, Disney is launching Disney Plus. Apple has Apple TV Plus. Domestic media companies are also teaming up with JTBC and CJENM partnering up to develop their own OTT, and the 3 national TV stations joining with SK Telecom to launch Wave, which is their own OTT service. Meanwhile, Kakao seems a bit lost with Kakao TV, its own video streaming platform, not really taking off. Events like the MMAs having exclusive premium multicam live streams on Kakao TV alone are their efforts trying to get Kakao TV off the ground, but let's be frank, most of us just watch the show through YouTube, not this dumb app. So yeah, that's basically why the MMAs was not on TV, but on these weird ass platforms like YouTube, Melon, and Kakao TV. And you know what? I think that's perfectly fine. I think even if it was on TV, honestly, if it's on stations like JTBC 2 and 4, then chances are very few people are going to even watch it. So I think it's perfectly fine that they move over to YouTube and other online platforms. And you know what you should be really pissed about? These artists not getting paid for these year-end awards. So they're not getting paid to be there, not getting paid to perform probably. According to this article by Sports Tonga, they say it's the norm to not pay K-pop artists during these year-end awards. And in the article they stated that Mama 2019 has an estimated revenue of $6 million in ticket sales alone. Now let that sink in. If you want more audio content like this, you can check out Patreon at patreon.com/DKDKTV, where we have audio podcasts and I talk about all sorts of shit and become very opinionated and probably cancelled if it was on DKDKTV.